Hello, welcome to Couch and Chat. I have a very special guest joining me tonight. It is currently 9:35 p.m. It's pretty late. Her name is Sharon Oh. Hello, Sharon. How are you doing?
Doing well. How are you, Jason?
Good. Sharon actually hit me up randomly a few hours ago. She was at a birthday dinner, and she just happened to be in the area, so why not film this podcast right now?
Yep. Happy birthday, Coach Silva.
Shout out to Coach Silva. What coach was he? Like, what sport?
Oh, it's a girl, but she was our assistant coach. You're good. For CBU Women's Golf.
Women's golf. Okay.
Yeah, super cool.
So sorry about that gendered. I don't even know that statement. I just assumed it was a man. That's totally incorrect. But anyway.
You're good.
So women's golf.
Women's golf.
You play golf?
Women's golf. Yep.
In college?
I played 4 years in college.
Okay.
And I would have to say, 12 years overall.
12 years overall.
Since I was.
So where did you go to college?
I went to college at California Baptist University in Riverside, California.
Woo woo! Shout out to Riverside.
Yeah.
Staying local to the area.
Inland Empire.
Yeah. So you played golf for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you play in high school then?
I played in high school.
So like, did you always want to play golf, or did you parents put you into it, or what happened? What was your journey into golfing?
All right, let's
talk about that.
I actually get this question quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I started off when I was 10 years old. My dad had asked me, "Oh, Sharon, do you want to go to the range with me and my friends one evening?" So I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So he took me, and I picked it up fairly quick. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, "Oh shoot, she's pretty good." So that's when he started investing into golf for me, mm-hmm. and I started playing junior golf tournaments, and soon enough I got to a fairly decent level where mm-hmm. college coaches were looking at me, and then I got recruited by Coach Mark Machado at CBU.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and yeah, that's how I got to CBU.
So you played, was it D1 golf at CBU?
My last year, yeah, because initially we were D2.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so it was like a recent thing where you guys mm-hmm. switched to D1.
Yeah, we transitioned to D1
mm-hmm.
Last year.
Mm-hmm. So you were, so you got in D2, then you became D1. So you got a chance to really play super competitive.
Yeah, it was super cool.
So you're a student athlete.
Yes.
So how did you balance everything with school and, playing the sport, practicing, stuff like that? Because I know college itself is a very busy time, in extracurriculars, classes, but when you throw in the athlete part mm-hmm. to the mix, it gets a little convoluted. It gets a lot harder. So how did you balance everything, and how did you go through that?
So with golf, we had practice, give or take 20 hours a week.
Okay.
So that took a lot of time. Mm-hmm. So we were directed to take morning classes from mm-hmm. 7 a.m. and end at 12 noon.
12 noon.
And once we got out, we ran to the caf or ate lunch really quick, grabbed a bite, and we headed to the golf course as a team. We drove separate cars, and we would practice out there for 4 or 5 hours a day, mm-hmm. come home, and I majored in health science, so I had a lot of science classes. Yeah.
I can relate.
Oh, yeah. And, it wouldn't be until 8 or 9 p.m. sometimes that I would crack open the books. But really, in the end, what it was, I don't know if it's an Asian mentality kind of mm-hmm. thing, but it's all right, if I don't seal the A, mm-hmm. It's basically a failure. That's mm-hmm. what my mentality was for me mm-hmm. in college.
Yeah.
As weird as it sounds.
It's not weird.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's how it was, Just grind
mm-hmm.
every single day. And
mm-hmm.
I was hoping that it would pay off in the end. Mm-hmm. And thankfully, it truly did.
So Sharon is going into pharmacy school.
Yes, I am.
At UCSD, correct?
UC San Diego.
Are you excited about that?
I am stoked.
So, so why pharmacy out of everything that you could have done?
Gosh, I get this question a lot, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I kind of dove into the medical field, and mm-hmm. at a certain point, I knew I didn't want to become a physician. It was just too much for me, mm-hmm. personally. So, thought about other professions like dentistry and, PA, but I realized, I really like to organize and I like to talk to people.
Right.
And I thought, oh, why not pharmacy? And that's kind of what led me to pharmacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long is pharmacy school? 4 years?
It's 4 years.
4 years, and then after that you're done.
Yep, unless I want to specialize and do residency and stuff like that.
Okay.
But for now, it's just 4 years.
Are you afraid of, like, the time commitment that it's about to come to you right now compared to, like, CBU? Do you think it's going to be, like, a lot harder? Do you think it's going to be more stressful? Or do you think you'll transition just fine?
I would have to say, honestly, the constant grind at CBU as a student athlete. Hello?
Are you afraid? Are you excited for, like, what's to come in pharmacy school? Because, like, I know there must be, like, a larger time commitment compared to what you're used to at CBU.
Absolutely. But I wouldn't say necessarily that I'm afraid. And I thank CBU for that because as a student athlete, I would say that, the constant grind has really prepared me really for whatever is thrown my way in the future. So I'm looking forward to pharmacy school. It's 4 years. It's going to be a good 4 years in La Jolla. Thankfully, I have Lene. She's going to be living 10 minutes away from me.
Who is Lene?
Lene is my best friend. Shout out, Lene.
Shout out to Lene if you're listening to this podcast. Big shout out to you.
My day one. So
Day one.
Thankfully, I'll have her by my side. It'll be good.
So you're going to be like a drug dealer now.
Yeah. A legal drug dealer.
Legal drug dealer.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Unless it's
kids.
legal and prescribed
By
you. Yeah. That's crazy. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Because I know I was like on this path also. Well, not pharmacy per se, but similar, like medical field and
kind of thing, right?
pre-med.
Yeah.
It's the same classes, right?
Of course.
But for me, it's just like I kind of detracted from that path because my grades weren't like the best. Like I assumed, did you get like straight A's all the time? So like a 4.0 GPA, if that's...
It's pretty high.
So 4.0, basically. So pretty high GPA, because obviously you got accepted to UCSD, which is a very prestigious school. But yeah, do you have any advice for like people who want to pursue, not pharmacy specifically, but like any medical field that requires like really high grades or...
Yeah, of course. So I would definitely recommend just staying determined and not letting anything or anyone get in your way, really. And truthfully, if things come your way like that you're not comfortable being in, like friendships or poor friendships or relationships that you don't want to be in, don't let those obstacles deter you from your true dream.
Right.
And I would say, in regards to discipline, drink lots of coffee because that's what saved my butt in undergrad. And for me, I had this goal of to be in pharmacy school, to reach pharmacy school, starting my sophomore year. So I stuck to that goal, and I made it a priority to, get close to my professors so that I could, hopefully get letters of recommendation one day for my application to pharmacy school. I started interning at Loma Linda University's medical center. I got a job at the recreation center, so my resume itself could,
be up there.
Yeah.
And you made it. You were successful in doing so.
Yeah. And another thing, for those who are pursuing medicine or any professional program, just don't hold back from participating in extracurriculars like clubs, events and stuff like that, because once you get that vice president or president position, that really looks good on your application itself. So really those 4 things I definitely recommend.
That's really good advice. So everyone who's listening to this podcast right now, please take this advice if you want to get into, any prestigious 4-year medical or pharmacy or whatever program you want to be involved in, because that's really great advice. What clubs were you involved in or extracurriculars?
Let's see.
That were not medical related.
Right. I was for 2 years, I was in the NCAA Student Athlete Advisory Committee on campus as the secretary, and I was the vice president of the pre-pharmacy club on campus for 2 years, and the president of that same club for 1 year. And then I was the secretary of the chemistry club for 2 years.
Wow.
And then...
Just involved in too many things, huh, to remember.
Yeah, but no, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
That's a lot.
that took up my mostly my sophomore to late junior to early senior year.
That's a lot of stuff, especially
but-
like also as a student athlete and keeping up a GPA that high. That's insane.
Yeah, but it's a great lifestyle to live.
It definitely is.
honestly.
Like that's the same lifestyle I like to live by. Like just constantly being involved and
Of course.
just I don't know. I like to over involve myself.
Which isn't a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
You get to meet amazing,
Yeah.
incredible people. You know, get your foot in the door for many things. You know, gain leadership experience.
True.
So I don't regret a single thing.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, you made it here, so
You were involved in a lot at UCLA.
yeah, I was.
Yeah, tell us about that.
I don't even remember what I was involved in. Okay, so like my first to 4 year, like first, second, third, and fourth year, I was involved in different things every year.
Like
So,
housing one time, right?
Housing.
Yeah.
So I was in housing for like 3 years. I started as like a media specialist where I was like in charge of like photography, videography, social media, stuff like that.
That's how you met Ramses.
That's how I met Ramses.
You're famous.
Yep, that's how I met Ramses. And like, yeah, long story short, like that's how I met him, and then he joined the fraternity, and we became best friends after that. But yeah, I was part of that for 3 years, so it was social media stuff, and then I did research for like 3 years as well. You know, herbivorous fish behavior. Like, what am I doing? Like, why am I researching herbivorous fish? You know, I'm not even doing that anymore. I'm doing wine after college, like for work. I majored in psychobiology, and I also was part of student government for a year. I kind of like regulated elections, which is super fun. So I really just like, I didn't spread myself thin, but I was like in different pockets on campus where I was able to
Variety.
meet a wide variety of people.
That's incredible.
Because I didn't want to just limit myself to like people who are pre-med and like the science classes.
Of course.
I don't know, some of those people tend to be a little neurotic in a way, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you probably know from experience.
Definitely.
But yeah, so that's crazy that you're in pharmacy school now. It's insane.
Going to be.
Going to be.
Starting September.
When is your white
23rd.
coat ceremony? When is that?
My white coat ceremony is on the 27th of September.
That's coming up.
5 p.m. at UCSD. Come through.
All right, everyone is invited. Everyone come through. So let's demystify this interview process, because
All
I
right.
think a lot of people want to know what that's like. I don't even know what that's like.
The interview process.
So I'm going to ask you, because you've definitely gone through multiple probably, right?
I have.
So tell us about that.
All right. So, each school, for pharmacy school at least, is a little bit different. So for me, I sent in my application fairly early. I would have to say August or September, which is early for the application period.
Of what year?
'cause
Third or fourth year?
Of my
Fourth?
after my junior year's summer,
Okay.
so that I could go into pharmacy school straight
Okay.
after graduation.
Okay, great.
So I sent in my application, started hearing back from schools saying, hey, like, we'd love to hear back or get you for an interview. This happened in September, so like late September, so not even like 2 months after I turned in my applications, I started hearing back. And most of them start off as like, they're really bulk interviews. You know, like there's many people, they're like groups of 20, and they start off in the morning roughly around 9 a.m. And the admissions committee, they basically welcome you with, you know, food, breakfast, refreshments.
They pamper you up.
Yeah, they do, and it makes you feel like
Better.
Yeah, it does.
A little more relaxed and comfortable.
And we get split off into groups typically. The first group, for example, would be, you know, the essay portion. The second group would be the campus tour. Third group would be interview, which I thought was the scariest part. And then the fourth group would be like Q&A.
Q&A. Okay.
Q&A with the alumni or students. But for the interview portion, well, shout out to CBU because their career center is amazing.
Round of applause.
Yeah, they prepared me really well. But for the interview section, they asked like basically like what you asked me: why pharmacy? What got you into pharmacy? Can you tell us about how your undergraduate career has prepared you to be an excellent student or a future physician? or not physician, practitioner, you know, stuff like that. Just questions like that. And yeah, like tell us about yourself, really.
Yeah.
They can be either broad or very narrow questions.
Right.
Your heart is beating like the entire time.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, it was a great experience. I had my first interview, I would have to say, in September, and then my last interview at UCSD wasn't.
That was your last interview?
Yeah, was my last interview, and that was in February.
Oh shoot, that's way down the line.
Yeah, and it was
September.
It was so complicated, Jason, because like these schools, they were like a week after they would be telling me, like giving me feedback and telling me, oh, you got accepted or whatever, and they would tell me, we want to hear back from you, and you got to tell us if you want to, you know, accept our offer within the next like week. And I still got like
a week.
Yeah.
You had a week to decide.
Yeah, and this was in like September, and I didn't even hear back from.
Right.
You know.
So what did you do in those situations? Did you like just say, okay, I can't do this, or did you like ask them to prolong it a little bit more, or a combination of both?
So I couldn't really ask them to prolong it because obviously there's other people waiting for the spot.
Yeah.
So it really, in the end, came down to, do I really want to go to this school? Like, is it really fitting for me? Do I think I have a good shot at the next school, or, you know?
Because I know when we first met, I think this is the first time we met, was at the USC tailgate, right?
Yeah.
Like in person.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's when I said, I'm going to USC.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then when you know, told us the news about UCSD, I was super confused. So, like, what happened during that time? Because I met you, you were going to go to USC. I was 100%. Like, okay, I don't like you because you're going to USC. But, yeah, tell us about, like, what happened.
So I had my USC interview, I would say December. December.
Okay, pretty early.
And the interview went very well. And I heard back a few weeks later saying, oh, you got accepted. Please, like, let us know if you want to accept or deny the offer. And I was like, oh my God, like, this is my dream school. I'm going to accept it, like, right now. So I don't know if you know, but there's like a deposit, like a enrollment deposit that you have to put down every time you decide to accept an offer.
Okay.
So USC's was like $1,000. So like obviously I paid the commitment deposit, and I was like, oh my God, like I'm a Trojan now, you know, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fight on.
And I didn't think I would get into UC San Diego because like the acceptance rate is like
super low.
Yeah.
Like this.
There's like 60 people in a class. Like, it's tiny.
Yeah.
It's tiny. So I was like, I have no chance, whatever. But then I remember distinctly. So I was at a car dealership with my parents.
Okay.
My parents were buying a car.
Okay.
And I get an email from UCSD. Okay, this is kind of fast forwarded. But I get the email from them saying I'm accepted. This is 2 weeks after, or like 2 or 3 weeks after I have an interview with them. And so I'm at the car dealership, and I opened up my emails just because, like, out of habit, like for the past 5 months, email. So I open it up, and it says from UCSD, you have been selected, you know.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you for admission. And like, I'm just like, oh my God, Dad, guess what? And he's like, what? I got accepted. So I knew right then and there I was going to go to San Diego because I would just have to say the location, the school reputation, because you know, like, there's been scandals like cheating and
the USC thing. It's been really hectic for them, and
the price, like,
I forgot. USC is very expensive.
Can you believe it?
It's a private school. Not even just for undergrad, but for professional schools. It's really marked up compared to like other things. Okay, so I mean, the scandals at USC. What other reasons did you choose UCSD over?
Let's see, what did I say? Location, scandals,
reputation,
price,
was good.
reputation.
Price, yeah.
Yeah, price for sure. Just, you know, like, I feel like anyone really would be happier in La Jolla than, like, you know, the boonies in LA.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? Like, if it were Westwood, like freaking UCLA.
Westwood is a different story.
Yeah, completely different story, but it's not.
Now you're going to be on your way soon.
Yeah.
September, you have a few more months to really just live this life as a non-school, non-working. Well, I mean, you're working.
Yeah, I am. But no worries in the world academic-wise.
No big worries, yeah. So what are you doing now? So you finished undergrad,
Yes,
right?
I did. Graduated
So what are you doing?
April 30th. Right now...
Wow, you graduated a long ass time ago.
I know, right? It's been a quick minute. So right now I'm working part-time at Nectar Juice Bar as a juicer. And that's, anywhere between Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And I'm babysitting my niece and nephew Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays.
Cool.
So definitely keeping myself, busy. Making a little money here and there, like not being a potato.
Yeah, of course.
Going to the beach a lot.
That's good.
Going to the pool, catching up with friends that I haven't seen in a long time. What else am I doing?
Sounds like your plate is full already.
Yeah, I'm having a good time. Summer's been great. What about you?
For me, I've been doing more or less the same thing minus the working thing. Because, all my life I've always done something over the summer, which, was a lot of pressure growing up. And this is like my first summer where I'm not obligated to do anything, really.
It's a good life.
It's a good life. Like, you're working, right? I'm not even working. I mean, honestly, it's been super unfulfilling. But I think it's been really important for me to really just, unwind and just relax for a little bit and just, like, take a rest before I fully fledge myself into, like, a career and, like, start working for, like, the rest of my life. And
that's what you need sometimes, just to recharge.
Yeah. And I graduated, like, a month ago, so I've only had, like, a month of the break. And I've honestly, it's been enough for me.
Of course.
So what I've been doing this summer, basically the same thing like you have been. I've been going to the beach. Reading some books here and there.
Yeah, and you're moving soon.
I'm moving next week.
That's right, you guys. He's moving to OC.
OC.
Yeah, OC. Right where I am, actually.
Yeah, right where she lives. It's a town, district.
More like a Orange County?
No, Mission Viejo.
Or Mission Viejo. Oh, yeah. It's like a city, yeah.
So Mission Viejo is like a small city in Orange County. I'm going to be moving there. And that's actually where Sharon's from, right? You grew up there? Or
like
kind of?
5 minutes away.
5 minutes away. Okay, so I'm
basically,
wrong.
yes.
Basically, no. I technically got that incorrect. But I just want to ask you this question also. So what role models or like figures did you like look up to like during this whole process, like during school and during your pharmacy application process, all that? So who would you look up to?
Of course. I tell this to the people who are interviewing me at pharmacy school because that's a
Is that a
very common question as well. But
I should just do that for work.
Yeah, I know, right?
Honestly.
My number one role model would undoubtedly be my brother, Scott.
Right.
He is 25 now. He goes to dental school at University of the Pacific, and he's about to graduate in 1 year. Wow. And he's just been someone that I look up to my entire life. Mostly the past 4 years, though, because he as well graduated from UCLA.
Go Bruins! Let's go!
Yeah, with the bio degree.
Okay.
And he has just been wholeheartedly committed to dentistry, and he's also been a huge family guy and just so respectful and diligent and hardworking and also compassionate. And there's just so much I could say about him. Like, he's exactly the type of person that I would want to be.
Right.
So, shout out Scott.
Shout out Scott.
Yeah.
Go Bruins, you know.
He also has a solid group of friends, you know?
Good.
And I consider his friends my friends.
That's really good.
Too. And
yeah.
Don't you love it when people are just so wholesome?
Yeah, no, definitely. No, I totally agree. Yeah.
I remember talking to Renee about this.
Okay. Who is Renee? Renee is my roommate, by the way, those of you listening. He's my roommate that has been living with me the past 2 years at UCLA. It's been a great time. He's one of my best friends. But yeah, go ahead.
So I remember when we all hung out in Santa Barbara, like, after that weekend, I met him. I was like, wow, like, these people you surround yourself with are so wholesome, and, you know, everything they do is just incredible. Like, you, Renee, Ramses, and, like, everyone else. Like, I remember distinctly we were eating, like, twice, 2 meals, and all of you guys, like, we were with not a huge group of people, but a solid group of people, and you guys didn't even, like, look at your phone once, like, not to check a text, like, you know, like, it's as if, like, we were unplugged completely.
Right.
There was no technology in the world. Like, it was just us and nothing else. And it's just so nice to have that group of friends that you can truly have a heart-to-heart conversation with and connect with, because that's hard to find lately.
It's very hard to find, especially in today's day and age.
Right? And it's so sad. So that's, like, what really opened my eyes. I was like, these people are something else.
Right.
Yeah.
And now we're friends.
Yeah.
Now we're here.
Well, we've always been friends.
We've always been friends, but now you have more friends.
Yeah, right.
Like,
More
it's funny,
friends.
like, you meet other people, like, your mutual friends of, like, mutual friends, and just the network gets bigger and bigger. And, you know, like minds attract other like minds, and wholesome people, that means, attract other wholesome people. So now we're here.
Of course.
So that's great. I'm glad we had that impression on you. I wasn't aware of that at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wasn't aware.
Wow. No, I told Renee about this too.
Wow. Yeah, Renee never brought that up with me either.
Oh,
it's a really
interesting.
Really good point.
Now you know.
Now I know. Wow, that's really cool. So to wrap up this podcast, for those viewers, or not viewers, listeners listening right now, what, I was going to say one piece of advice, but feel free to give as much advice as you want. What advice do you want to give to people who, you know, might be going into college right now and unsure what they're doing, and maybe they have an interest in pharmacy, or
of course,
like, what do you recommend they do, or even people like graduating and have no idea what they're doing? Because I was in that boat for a little bit too. So
well, I would recommend to the people who are actually going into college, you know, try to discover what you really like your passion, your niche, and that will guide you to what profession you truly want to pursue. But in the real world, aside from professionalism and chasing your dreams, just have a good time in college, because I realized, like, I've been reflecting on this a lot for the past
you've had a lot of
few
time
months.
to reflect.
Oh yeah. College, I've heard this from several people, but not until I experienced it myself was I able to realize college is the only time that you'll be surrounded by so many people that are the same age, that you will be able to party with, or not party with, I mean have a good time, you know, go
party. Or do any like wholesome activities like hiking or something.
Of course,
like that.
that's what I meant.
Yeah, that's what you meant.
You know, like, you're never going to be surrounded again with so many people that, you know, truly, I don't know, interest you.
And so different, different like walks of life.
Yeah.
Different interests, different like majors or fields of studies, and like you said, again, similar age. It's just a weird, not weird, but very niche and very, you know, specific and special time. And
of course. And so, Jason, what I wanted to say, like, for me in college, you know how I told you, like, oh, like, everything was a grind constantly, 24/7, you know, golf, school, academics, extracurriculars, that's it. I would recommend to those who are pursuing professional school, or maybe, you know, just in college in general, to actually enjoy every moment and, you know, get the papers done quick, get the homework done quick, and go out. Have a good time. You're never going to be able to go out again like this and have a truly amazing time with your friends and buddies. So sometimes it's okay to put aside the academics.
Just put it away.
Don't take life so seriously and just...
Totally agree.
You know?
And just enjoy it.
Because if it's anything that I regret, it's not spending enough time with my friends or going out. You know, it's constantly, hey, Sharon, like, do you want to go out tonight? Like, oh, do you want to do this or this? Hey, do you want to go grab coffee? But it's constantly like, oh, I'm sorry, like, I have to study, I have to read, blah, blah, blah. And I remember distinctly at one point, I was like riding around on my bike on campus, and I didn't have my backpack with me because I was just getting food. And then one of my friends was like, oh my God, Sharon, this is the first time I've seen you without a backpack. Like, what is up?
Yeah,
and that's like when I was like, am I that much of a nerd?
Yeah.
I'm really not that much of a nerd, I hope not. But yeah, that's what opened my mind, my perspective, and yeah, just don't stress out. Don't get anxiety. Just chill out, because life is really too short to stress the hell out 24/7.
Exactly.
And I'm going to take my own advice from that quote right there.
Right there.
Yeah, you take that advice.
I'll take that advice. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going through the same thing, right? I just graduated. I'm, you know, reminiscing about the times where, you know,
constantly
it's just so weird because, like, I was in this space where like all my friends were together, you know, living together, and within close proximity, I could go upstairs to see someone, or go downstairs, or go visit someone on campus, right?
Like you're never bored.
I never had a car, so I didn't need one because everyone was there.
The homies everywhere, right?
The homies are everywhere. Yeah. But if someone told me this, just when I started senior year, I was doing interviews, right, for jobs. And one of my interviewers told me, you know, this is your senior year. Say yes to everything because you'll never get a chance to do that again. And so I was fortunate enough to say yes to everything. And I got myself into some very sticky situations. But it was like, you know, I took that advice and it really, like, I'm looking back and like, I'm glad because I would have, you know, put aside a lot of these things and said, no, I had to study, or no, I had to apply to jobs, or no, I have to prepare for this interview, or no, I have to sleep earlier tonight, blah, blah, blah. Right. And I was fortunate enough to hear that at the right time and, you know, spent my entire last year just, you know, having fun. On that note, what is the craziest thing that you did say yes to? During that fourth year? Yeah. Craziest thing I said yes to. God, there's been so much. Every time someone asks me, like, not like to avoid your question, but anytime someone asks me what's the craziest thing you've done in college, or what's the craziest thing you've done in your fraternity, or what, you know, craziest thing or most memorable, it's hard for me to come up with an answer because there's a lot. Every moment that I've had, like, with any of my friends or acquaintances at UCLA, it's been very memorable. And, you know, I tend to get myself in very crazy situations a lot of the time. You don't say no. I realize that because, like, all the times that I was visiting you guys, like UNA, you never said no. Like, oh, like, I was like, do you want to go get food? I was like, yeah, sure, right now. Like, all the time. Let's go get tacos. Yeah. Sure, yeah, let's go. Like, you want to go get boba? Yeah, why not? Yeah, because I knew, like, after this period of my life, it wouldn't be the same because now no one's hitting me up. Like, no one's hitting me up to get tacos, or no one's hitting me up to get boba, or go to the local bar just to hang out and dance, and no one's, you know, hitting me up to watch a movie with them, or walk over to a place to help them out with some homework, or have a shoulder to cry on. It's not like that anymore. It's different. And, you know, to answer your question about the craziest thing, you know, I don't have an answer. I really don't. I hope that answer was an answer to your question, like that long-winded answer. But, like, yeah, my experience... No answer needed. Yeah, no answer needed. You know, mic drop. It's I would say my entire 4 years was a crazy experience. And I definitely changed as a person, like, right after high school going to college. Because it was, like, my first time where I got to really just explore everything that I wanted to do and have no restriction or limitation on that. And that's a great lifestyle to live. And I'm thankful for I'm so thankful for, like, the friends that I've made, because like I think that's the one thing I really am grateful that I've gained out of the experiences themselves. And two, the more tangible thing is like the friend group that I've had, like that I now have. Like I have different friends here, like involved in different things. So like, you know, I'm really grateful for that. So, of course. But yeah. Thanks for flipping the script on me. But, of course. But yeah, I think that will conclude the podcast. Awesome. Thank you again, Sharon. Thanks for having me, Jason. Coming, of course. I know you've been listening for recently, right? A loyal listener, right? Loyal listener right here, Sharon. And now she finally got a chance to. The tides have turned. Come on, yeah. So thanks again for coming. Yeah, thanks for having me. And peace out, everyone. Thank you all for listening. Welcome to Couch and Chat. Peace out. And.